Rajiv, are you ready, sir?
Yes, I am. How are
Good.
you?
I'm very well, Rajiv. How are you doing today?
I'm not doing too bad. I'm looking forward to this and this challenge, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.
Sure.
Every 6 seconds, a person is born with dementia. More than
Mm,
50% of older people in nursing homes in Australia are sedated with psychotropic drugs as a management strategy. The
mm,
changing structure is forcing governments, making older people to stay home longer.
mm,
1 in 54 children every year in US is diagnosed with autism. Then
mm,
we have a whole generation of early learning children impacted by screen-based devices in terms of their emotional language and literacy development. So,
mm,
we have designed and developed and deployed proactive, intelligent social robot-enabled ecosystem Matilda in aged care to enable people stay home longer, improve engagement and communication skills of children with autism, provide training and education to people with low literacy skills through robot process automation. And all
mm,
this has been evidenced in terms of the use in Australia, Hong Kong, and Japan in the last 10 years.
mm,
And
mm,
Matilda is differentiated from other products in the above markets through its emotionally engaging and non-judgmental two-way communication platform, use cases from 3-year-olds to 90-year-olds, offline or standalone mode with guaranteed data privacy, inbuilt
mm,
AI and machine learning platform, traction and deployment in home-based care and all the above sectors, and
mm.
finally, affordable and low maintenance. We
Got it.
have contracts on the table in the above sectors for deployment of Matilda till 2030. We are looking
Mm.
for $2 million to help us scale up in the Asia Pacific region. Would
Got
you
it.
like to have a cup of coffee with me, Ash?
Sure, would love to, Rajiv. Thank you for that. Rajiv, we're going to give you some feedback on it, right? So again, love what you're doing.
Mm.
For me, I think the way I look at it, right? I always like to try to draw comparisons to the world. Okay,
Yes.
so everyone knows about Alexa and Google Home, right? We all know about that. We all know about Siri, right? And what I want to do when I think about what you're doing, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Mm.
But you actually have a live robot that can interact with you that has kind of the power of the standard stuff for your
Yes.
smart home device, okay?
Yes.
But it's built with specific algorithms and tools to help
Yes,
drive interaction, to
that's
help
right.
you learn and all this other stuff. Correct?
Yeah, that is
Is
right.
that
And it's you see the important thing compared to that's what I mentioned in the differentiation aspect. The important thing is emotional engagement. Alexa and Google don't provide you any emotional engagement. When I talk about emotional, we are human beings. We are not some
yeah, yeah.
another. Yeah. So emotional engagement in a human-like manner. And a two-way communication. Google and Alexa are passive devices. You communicate with the
Yes,
person and
yes,
they react. Matilda is not a passive device. It's a proactive device.
yes,
It
yes,
talks to you. You don't have to talk to it.
yes,
So it
yes.
communicates both. So,
Yeah,
uh,
and so the thing is that what I want to do, because you talked about kind of three groups, right? And I think like just within a 1 minute pitch, you talked about like three big problems. You talked about kids in front of screens, okay, and
yes,
how they're killing their emotional abilities to connect with people. We
yes,
have autism and we also have dementia, right? I
that's
think
right.
we should start off with my logic, especially when you're pitching, talk about one and say we can also go into other areas, right? And I think
Okay.
the one that you want to tackle is probably old age, right? Like the senior home. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, that's true. That's a passion because you started with that one first.
Yeah, yeah, and it
But
works
yes,
for old
yes.
people, right?
Mm,
And a lot of
mm.
us actually relate to the person that we might have a grandparent or somebody in a home or something like that. So you really
Yeah.
want to get it going. My question to you is, let's talk about dementia for a second.
Yeah.
How big is you said how many people in the
Every
elderly
60 seconds, a person is born in this world with dementia. Every 60
every
seconds.
60 seconds?
Yeah, so
Okay.
you can count the numbers. I mean, there's 1 million people with dementia in Australia by 2050,
Okay.
and I think it'll maybe 10 times more in US. I would guess much more than that, maybe
Yeah.
maybe 20 times,
Yeah.
and more so. You have if you look at China, they're going to have 500 million people above the age of 60 by 2050. That's the whole
Mm,
population of US.
okay.
So this is a whole changing social structure. where you're not going to have enough young people looking after older people. That's a
Of
fact.
course, we know this
That's
problem, right?
inevitability. So
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah. And so
So,
you're what we call a silver startup, right? You know, there's this the silver aged people with silver hair, right?
yeah.
You're doing that. And so for me, like you know, just digging a little bit deeper, there's a lot of people. There's up to 20 million people in the U.S. right now that might be suffering from dementia. How does
Mm.
your product improve outcomes for them? Does that make sense? So like, okay,
Yes,
I have onset dementia, right? I have
yes.
onset dementia, right? And a son or daughter or caregiver can use, right? I want to know more about that. And
So
what the
it's for, so the onset, because we've done this research. So we have onset dementia. You will have the Matilda will augment their good memories through emotional engagement and
okay.
two-way communication on a daily basis. In that process, it will provide respite to their carers so that it reduces the emotional drain, because one of the main problems is that the carers, that your partners actually get sick of you. They can't
Mm,
relate with you, and they ultimately send you off into a nursing home, right? So that's yeah.
mm,
So it's how do you make, and then is the social connectivity. So when I say augment good
sure.
yeah, social connectivity. How do you keep them connected with family? So you have all kinds of, not just simply people can talk and dial into Matilda, but they can actually, you know, send all kinds of their videos, whatever, which
Mm,
I can show them,
yes,
YouTube channels, whatever, right?
yes, yes.
And
Understood.
then it is learning, all the time it's learning what kind of activity preference, service preferences they have over time, and it kind of and you can the carers, their family can remotely schedule services. So you can know what
Mm,
your granny is doing sitting in Toronto, if
sure.
right.
Yeah.
So
So you
and you can,
leverage technology to kind of create a kind of a social network around grandma and how all that stuff
that's
happens.
right, exactly. So that's the
Right?
way to keep them longer at home, keep them
Yeah.
engaged, keep them connected. At the same time, if they have a partner,
Yes.
then provide them respite. How
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
get their breaks. Yes.
Of course. And so
So
that's what I wanted to hear, Rajiv, right? So what I hear you doing when I think about just digging down on a specific challenge, we went
yes,
to dementia, and what you are doing is you
yeah,
are allowing the patient to
mm,
spend a much more powerful, longer period of time with their loved ones.
that's right.
That's what you do.
That's right.
Okay. Right?
Yeah,
At a fraction of the price of having a caregiver come to the house, correct?
that's right.
That's what I wanted, Rajiv.
I see. Okay. One
You
of
see
the
that?
reasons,
Because
yeah,
it
yeah,
strikes at the heart of the person, right?
sure, you're right. One of the reasons I covered that is that if somebody wants to invest, they want to, how do you de-risk their investment?
Sure,
If
sure.
you have only one market segment to invest in,
Yeah,
right? As against possibly five market segments, which, because we have use cases in those. It's not that we are just claiming out of
yeah,
nowhere.
yeah.
Then
That's of
that's
course.
just that was the confusion I had in mind, whether I should pick just one.
No problem. That's okay. Rajiv, you know what? I don't have the perfect answer for that. But what I
Yeah,
wanted you to do is at least dig deeper with one and really
one.
have
Okay.
that moving conversation. And we can do it for the other ones, but I think the dementia
Yes.
piece is the first one,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do, Rajiv, would you like me to pitch this idea back to you
Sure.
now?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Right. And again, love what you're doing. We love the spirit of what you're doing, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about the idea of your product,
Yeah.
allowing families to have their loved ones with them longer, right?
Longer.
With the right type of care. We talked about augmenting good memories and
Mm.
reducing emotional drain, okay?
Yes.
As part of
Yes.
the process, right? We're not solving dementia, but
Mm.
we're going to make it more bearable. Is
Yeah.
that all right? Is that what I'm
That's
saying? Okay. So we're going to hit
absolutely.
the top. Rajiv,
Yeah,
you are
just a quick,
now a very rich investor. No, go ahead. Any
just
feedback?
a
Sorry.
quick feedback. On the point
Yeah.
about, shall we talk about all the different markets? Typically you want to strike a balance between sounding as if you're de-risking and making sure that you are not
Mm,
spreading yourself too thin,
Yes.
right? So yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
yes.
challenge.
key. Yeah.
That's
Yes,
All right, Ash, over
yes,
to you.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
okay.
So, Rajiv, are you ready for the pitch? Should we
Yeah.
go ahead? Okay, no.
Sure, sure.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit, oh, we just start. Okay, we're gonna go one more time. Let me see if I can adjust that a little bit, but we're going to go right to the top. You're going to be that rich investor guy, and I'm going to be that PhD student or PhD. You are a PhD. You didn't talk about your background, by the way, Richard.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry.
Right?
Yeah, my background is AI and machine learning. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, you have a PhD, and you're a smart guy. You're not just some 22-year-old. So we got to bring that up a little bit, Rajiv. I know you look young, but you got to tell everyone a little bit about your background, sir. All right. So we're going to do that. We're hitting the top, Rajiv. Are you ready?
Okay. All right. Hi, Ash. How are you doing?
I am very good, Rajiv. My name is Ash Singh, and I'm part of the Matilda team. Okay. I don't know if you know this, but dementia is one of the biggest challenges that every country is facing. In the US right now, there's 20 million people that are suffering from dementia. Now, I can't solve dementia, but what I can do using our smart platform, Matilda, is we have created a smart AI platform, basically a toy that allows families that are suffering, that have a grandma suffering from dementia, to be able to leverage that tool to strike engagements and create a social bond with them so that they can stay with them longer. And we lower the cost of the healthcare associated with it through what we call augmenting good memories. And we've proven to lower the emotional drain of the caregiver. So somebody can stay with the family for 10 years instead of just 5. Okay. We have done research on this, Japanese research. I have a PhD in AI. We've built a product. We have the hardware device. I'd love to show it to you and show you how we're making this impact, and hope that we can talk a little bit about an investment so that we can plant this with all of the main healthcare centers in your market and see if we can make a real difference and improving lives of everyone that are suffering with a loved one with dementia. Right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's great. That's
Right?
simple. And yeah.
Was that a little bit more simple? Right?
Yeah, quite so simple. That's right.
Now, you saw where I started to stutter a bit, right?
Yeah.
I was a smart device. I needed that click word, right? But there's a couple of power words that you brought that I really liked. Do you know what I mean? And just talked about it and started to get the emotional story together, right?
Yeah.
What happens is that what I was going to say, and I ran out of time, but I was going to say, instead of buying a smart device like an Alexa or a Google Home or a Siri, this is the next phase. These are the medical related ones. Okay. And we are the ones that have been doing it for a very long time with NEC in Japan. And we want to make sure we make this fire, right? Rajiv, that's what I would position it at. In their mind, they're like, okay, because everyone has like smartwatches, right? Everyone has these smartwatches now.
Yeah.
But some people have like the Garmin, like, if I'm a rudder, okay, Apple Watch is not good enough, right? I need the next level, right?
Next level, that's right.
Yeah, I think that's where I would position your product, sir.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
That's right. Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Ash.
Well, always a pleasure. Thank you for staying up so late. And I think what we need to do, Rajiv, I think we need to get like Matilda t-shirts. Okay. So whenever you're walking around, you got your hat, you got your jacket. We need to have like Matilda because it's so cute. And people should check it out. And please share the link to the Matilda, because people are wondering, what does it look like and everything. So feel free to type it in the chat so people can go to your website as well and find out more. I'm sure there's a lot of curiosity on this, right?
Yes. Thank you.